Members of staff at the Makoanyane military hospital, where the Lesotho Army says former Army Commander Maaparankoe Mahao died, will testify before the SADC Commission investigating his death today. Commission Chairperson Judge Mphaphi Phumaphi made the announcement as he concluded proceedings yesterday. Maha's nephews, who were with him when he was shot, said his almost lifeless body was carried away by soldiers, but the Army maintains he was alive when he arrived at the hospital. Army lawyer and operational commander for the mission aimed at arresting Maha, Colonel Bulane Sechele, refused to confirm his presence when Maha was shot and admitted to hospital. He told the commission that Maha was alive, walking into the hospital with support before he passed away. When he cross-examined Lieutenant Colonel Tifo Hachasi, Commission Chair Judge Mphaphi Phumaphi put it to him that, in fact, Maha had already died when he arrived at the hospital, and Hachasi too refused to comment. And now for more on the developments on the story, we are joined on the line by our reporter on the scene, Nthakoana Ngatane. Nthakoana, a very good afternoon to you. Now, I think finally now the Commission is gaining momentum with the latest testimonials. Please tell us more on today's proceedings.
Good afternoon, Alicia. This morning we had in front of this commission the brother of the colonel that you just spoke about. His name is Private Kamohelo Sechele. He's brother to Colonel Bulane Sechele. And this sparked a lot of interest from the lawyers in front of this commission. But if we go into his testimony, he corroborates his brother's version that Maha was alive when he reached the hospital. He says that he was on duty in the maternity ward at the Makoanyane military hospital when Maha was brought to the hospital. He says he was ordered by the Director of Medical Services to quickly bring a sheet to the ambulance emergency area. And when he arrived there, the director herself was propping Maha, and that Maha was walking at the time and cried for help. He then goes into what happened in the emergency room until Maha died. And he then says after Maha had died, he cleaned the body to give him a dignity. And this is another area of evidence that sparked a lot of interest from the commission itself, as well as the lawyers at the commission, asking him why it is that he cleaned the body, and if he didn't think cleaning the body was in fact getting rid of vital evidence in this case. And he stumbled a bit, but then eventually said his duty as a nurse is to assist people to give birth and to assist people to die in dignity. And also this afternoon we have had in front of this commission a Colonel Matimelo who was the Director of Medical Services, who ordered Sechele to bring the sheet, and she's now giving evidence in front of this commission. Alicia.
Nthakoana, tell us more about the hospital staff that is said to testify. Have they all begun? And who else can we expect to take the stand today?
Well, these are the two people that are the hospital staff, and so far it seems that they are the two that will be giving evidence in front of this commission. But what I can tell you, Alicia, is that in line with what Colonel Bulane Sechele did, and as well as what Army Commander Atladika Mudi did, as well as Lieutenant Colonel Tifo Hachasi did, in terms of not mentioning who was on the operation to arrest Maha and who shot him and who brought him to the hospital. Even the hospital staff are continuing with that line of testimony. They are plainly refusing to say who it was that they saw. In fact, the Private Sechele himself says he didn't even see anyone at the ambulance area when he went to assist Maha and the Director of Medical Services. And I've just heard now the Director of Medical Services saying that it is not her area to say, that it is Colonel Bulane Sechele who will say who was on that operation. Her area is the hospital, so she is not authorized to say anything else. So it seems that perhaps the commission will not know or will not have the full evidence of who in fact was at the mission to arrest Maha, who was there when he was shot, and who delivered him to the hospital. Alicia.
Look, Nthakoana, this back and forth between the army and the family's accounts, I mean, are we ever going to get the truth? When is the family expected to testify?
At this point in time, we don't know, Alicia. We know that on Thursday, the commission will be sitting in South Africa, where they will be hearing testimony from the exiled leaders of opposition, that is the leader of Obasotho Convention, Tom Tabane, the leader of Basotho National Party, Tisile Maseribane, the leader of Reformed Congress of Lesotho, Keketorantu, their supporters, soldiers who are in exile in Lesotho, as well as some civilians who are still in South Africa. and that's expected to take maybe the rest of this week and some part of next week, as we understand. But when the family is expected to come in front of this commission, we don't know. In fact, we don't know if perhaps they have already been in front of the commission, because we know that some of the people have given their evidence in camera. And from what the commission questions people about, we understand that some of it depends or is derived from some of this evidence that has been given in camera. For instance, when Commission Chair Judge Mphaphi Phumaphi questioned Lieutenant Penalty for Hashati about his whereabouts on the day that Maha was shot, he was almost certain that he was there. And in fact, he even said to him, if you're not willing to say whether or not you were present, and we put it to you that you were, we will consider you as a suspect. At that point, he said he did not have any comment. So we don't know when the family will testify or if they have testified, but we assume that there are some of the people that would perhaps testify in camera if they do. Alicia?
Nthakoana, it sounds like there's still a lot to be done by the Commission. You had mentioned earlier that the Commission was scheduled for 90 days. Is everything still on track? I mean, are we going to look at another extension here? Is that possible?
Well, from what Judge Mphaphi Phumaphi keeps saying, especially to the lawyers who are quite eager to cross-examine some of the witnesses here at the Commission, he seems to be wanting to reach that deadline to ensure that he reaches conclusion when those days arrive. So we expect that that will happen. And of course, he's quite stern in terms of getting the back in order when they decide to derail the Commission by sometimes even asking things that he says are not related, but he says some of them will help him somehow in terms of reaching conclusions in front of this Commission. But he's very stern in terms of bringing them back to order to say, this is my Commission and I will run it as I see fit and make sure that it reaches whatever it's supposed to. Alicia?
Nthakoana, we'll stay in touch for the latest update. That's Nthakoana Ngatane live to us from Lesotho at the Commission of Inquiry into former Commander Maha's death.